It's not fine.
I have no
sorry,
notes.
Ox. Yeah.
Are we really getting to the point where now you're apologizing for not being there for it?
Yeah. You know.
As we do have the Rumble getting banned away in first rotation this time around. Renekton also getting denied. That to me is screaming. We are B1ing Mbessa.
Mbessa.
Yep.
So did they ban it, or did they say, well, we don't really care about that, we'll pick something else?
Yeah, it is Zeus, so I do think that that is going to be the case. We'll see. Mbessa is obviously very resilient. It's just going to be the Kalista instead, which banned on blue side last time by DNF FREECS. And with Varus already gone, you can't really go for the classic trade as mild shock. Good foreshadowing though here from FREECS, which I do appreciate.
Yes.
That narrative device.
You know, we really need a cast with you and Wolf, because then you could actually dig deep on like all the literary terms, the themes, the metaphors, and stuff like that.
I do love overanalyzing.
Yeah, for me, I did not enjoy that very much at all. I liked reading, but actually writing essays and stuff, not my thing.
Yeah, that was all I did a long time.
Imagine having a law degree.
It was actually really funny because a lot of my my friends were in actual science and they had to look at someone and they're like, you're not actually doing science, you're just writing random stuff. And yep, that's how it goes. As we do have the Ezreal, Prio remaining sky high, Peanut still very much in possession of his Nidalee card. He's like, I get to have fun? Fun champion for me? And yeah.
For me?
Yeah, he's earned it. He's been really good in the pick. Even though some people, me included, were big doubters initially, definitely is one of the players still in possession. And I know that Sejuani is good, but I will never feel great about locking in Sejuani into Nidalee because the whole reason we saw Nidalee, come back, I think in the more recent was because of the matchup.
Yeah.
Into Sedge specifically. As a mid-jungle duo, any non-AD pick is going to feel kind of bad, but maybe they don't want to commit to the Tristana early on, as maybe Hanwha Life just don't really care about their mid-jungle 2v2 at all.
Zed?
Well, that would be
Vladimir?
fun, but I don't think we're getting that. It's going to be the Ryze instead. Actually, marginally better because at least it has setup. So that's something, you can set up for the Spears. Yeah. Obviously, it doesn't mean that buying resistances is a lot easier. I do wonder if DNF FREECS end up banning like Camille and another 80 pick. Zeus needs to lock in an 80 champion here, right? They're already really heavy towards AP. If you lock in triple AP, it gets even worse, and itemization becomes really lopsided. So I wouldn't mind DNF FREECS just further protecting this Mbessa and kind of pinch. I know Zeus will be able to pick something that'll be good nonetheless, but it does make it a lot harder. Imagine where normally something like the Gragas comes to mind, right, which we know Zeus plays at a really high level. You can't do that when you already have Nidalee and Ryze.
Yeah. Maybe Jax.
Like Jax Camille bans?
Yeah. I was thinking about other stuff that's not Camille. The Camille. Okay, well, it's Skarner. I almost expected the draft to just drop and we'd go into oh, there was a little bit of an issue with the pick ban. No, it's just top Skarner ban here.
Or they're
DNF
thinking
FREECS.
it's top 80 Nidalee.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure the Shy played that last week.
Sure.
Yeah, Zeus can. If anyone would, it would be him.
Because you just don't ban any top champions, because it's definitely top 80 Nidalee.
Well, I do think Camille can struggle into Talia. It's hard to actually get on top of the backline, so maybe that's one of the reasons.
Just flash R.
Are we going to save counterpick for Delight? Because obviously, we don't really need to. We already know what Zeus is playing into, so I would much rather see him pick a counterpick. It's going to be Gnar. It's not super exciting, but it is one of his best champions. Nidalee Gnar is definitely one of the most volatile 2v2s that I can imagine because it's purely execution-based. It's not Sejuani Jax, something that kind of plays itself. As I'm loving the DNF FREECS draft. I think that they have something that is a lot better. Zeri Berserker's been best performing member on this team. What is it, Zeri Lulu?
No, it's just Tristana.
Ooh. One more aggression then.
Alistair's available. I know that's not really the...
You kind of have to, no? Otherwise, Delight gets Alistair. And you can't really pick Rel.
Yeah.
Because then they will respond with Alistair and you're playing into Delight's Alistair. I feel like it's kind of a must. It's even like Tristana Alistair goes way back. That's a classic combo.
That's why I was saying, you know, maybe not in this era, but I think your points are valid, Chronicler, because now it's an extremely easy Alistair pickup here. You could also...
Can go Braum and really make their life unpleasant.
Yeah. You know, Rel also available. I think there are a decent amount of choices for him. We just know him so much for the Alistair. But yeah, he's just going to pick up the Rel.
Yeah. Gets the most CC. That I do really like, because the Rel has obviously an incredible amount of AoE teamfights. And that's the one thing that they were really lacking. You only have Meganar and then the setup from Rise. That's not really too crazy. The poke, though, from Hanwha Life, I think is going to be for these fan signs. It keeps changing every single day, Veldes. We need to stay on top of that as well.
Yeah. Well, we got Firefighter Tristana. I love the ringing bells. It's a big a big favorite of mine. As we have Rise here for Zeka, alongside of Peanuts Nidalee, one of the Nidalee card holders. We'll see how he performs on it here. Nar for Zeus, it all kind of just makes sense over there. As we are ready, let's hop into the ring for game number 2. Game number 2, DNF need a win here. Otherwise, it's just a straight up 2-0.
I was thinking, who else is still in possession of their Nidalee card? So Kenya's, he's the one that invented it.
Yeah.
So obviously he does. Cuz I think is unfortunately his is revoked until further notice.
Yeah, I mean...
Is it just Lucid?
Does he have a Nidalee? I don't think he has a Nidalee card.
He did. Yeah, definitely did.
I think he has a Lee Sin card. I don't know if he has a Nidalee card.
Yeah, last season. Well, I'm not, you know, the number one.
That's why I'm hesitant to believe, because you're saying
that's valid.
You know?
That's valid.
If Atlas was saying it, I'd be like, okay,
Owner,
100%.
Owner, I feel like he has the card, but he's like, I don't really
want this.
I don't really want yeah, that's just not.
But when he pulls it out, it's like, okay, I really want it.
I mean, he is
and
one
he
is one of the best junglers in the LCK for a good reason.
And his Nidalee is really insane, so it's definitely a good shout.
It's a team thing, though, right? I think he likes his Nidalee card, but the team's like, I don't know.
Yeah.
He needs you to just go in and be Xin Zhao, and he's like, oh well, all right, guess I'll do that.
Alrighty.
Do we have any other champion where you need a card, like, to the same degree? Not really, right?
Not really. There have been some moments where casters have said it for other difficult champions. Although nothing really comes to mind immediately.
I don't think anything is, like, at the same level of... The champion just oscillates between...
I think we...
completely overpowered and doesn't do anything.
Yeah, I think we mentioned it when Peanut played Neferi and we revoked his Nidalee card even though he didn't have one. I think that was the joke.
Is the fairy card, you mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, no, for sure.
I think that might have been the angle. I'm trying to remember.
Well, yeah, Peanut tries to do a bunch of things, right? There's, I think, no other player that has many picks that make you go, oh god, please no. Between the Shyvana and the Zyra, and then the Neferi is, Bulldog!
He has to flash the Q this early on against a level 3 Rise. Not a good start for Bulldog.
Nidalee as well. Well, good luck in that lane.
Yeah, if you get flash 2-second ring prisons, you just die as Nidalee, or as Taliyah.
Yeah. Not great. Taliyah is one of the... going in?
He is indeed going in.
Oh, the two-man Q.
Yep. And the Tristana also gets ignited by Delight. Really trying to exert as much pressure as possible early on into the early level Tristana. Peanut is here. I'm gonna try to land a spear. That lands immediately on the Dudu. He's 2 autos away from death. But it's just a straight up spear. Pyosik took that moment to take the Scuttle Crab on the top side of the map, so not half bad for him.
Ooh, if Pyosik was on the bottom half of the map, Dudu's dead. There's
Going in here on a Mega Gnar.
yeah, a lot of sustain there for Dudu, so I think it's understandable that he still is trying to go in. As we do have Pyosik not being too unhappy with the whole sequence of events, because the gank didn't actually end up mattering too much. Dudu was still fine, and Peanut now a little bit behind in tempo as he has to go for the cross map to pick himself up his own Krabby.
Yeah. It's very telegraphed where he was going, so Bulldog's able to push up, get this wave crash. Might get his lane, or his back canceled, rather. And yeah, he's just gonna have to go back to lane awkwardly. Meanwhile, we got swaps down to the bottom side here. Both the top laners going bot. Our bot laners going top. Looking to play over the Grubs, as is customary nowadays.
See the swap every single time. Nice little continuation of were you able to generate some early lane pressure. It means that you can get there earlier, means that you can get the shove in. Also sold the light roam mid just to clear out the ward, and then Life a little bit later does the same as Zeus.
Well, he's going to hit Mega Gnar at least, but I don't know if he gets out of this one, especially with the permafrost landing. The heal comes in, but it's not enough. First blood goes over to Pyosik Sejuani.
And it's a flip of what happened in the last game. Zeus this time gets over aggressive. Nice punish there from Pyosik. If Peanut's spear hits Dudu there, ends up dying, but it's Pyosik. Pyosik not too bothered. Nicely done here early on as we take a look. I think Zeus feels relatively safe because he's up a level. He has Peanut towards his side of the map. But then that's right there. That moment, the aggressive hop ends up being his demise. And then the flash. The permafrost is stacked, my man. You are not getting out of there. Even if you flash towards Peanut, if this is like a 2-item Italy, probably you're able to turn it around, but we're 5 minutes in. So
why isn't Peanut 2 items in yet?
Well, maybe time to appeal the, what is it, him getting his card. We could appeal that, right?
You can, but I don't think we have to.
Well, I'm not saying we should, but I think Zeus is seriously considering it.
Yeah.
It's always the jungler's fault.
It is always the jungler's fault.
Oh, Viper, that's...
-2.
-2. Thanks, Jonas Strong, making sure we don't miss that.
Yeah. Peanut is going to get to work here on the Grubs. And they have push in top lane, and there's no flash for Bulldog, so... With Pyosik not on the map, looks like DNF don't really have an opportunity to fight over that, so it is just free. We'll see exactly where Pyosik goes, if he goes for an Infernal Drake or if he wants to repeat gank onto Zeus, who doesn't have his flash, but he is now level 6, and he's also backing. Yeah, the timing isn't there.
Big issue here is the mid lane prio, because Zeka has such reliable presence and has been able to generate so much pressure in this lane as I imagine Viper's like, hey, do you need help? And Lai's like, nah. I'm okay. It's fine. I'll just deal with it myself.
Yeah. And it is totally fine. And yeah, the push is coming in big time from Zeka.
It's so annoying to deal with already, right? And it's only going to get worse. But his ability to just delete these lanes mean that Bulldog is already behind, or always behind the play. And with Realm Warp, can do pretty similar thing to what Taliyah can do, but you clear the waves in about, I want to say like a quarter of the time. And a lot more time to exert pressure on the map. Sorry?
I'd say maybe half the time.
Half?
I think a quarter
This early on?
is...
Yeah, that's fair.
This early on, yeah. I mean, while he has a Ruby Crystal.
I do really think like Taliyah's early, when they changed her to not be good early anymore, made me very sad.
Yeah.
Fun.
I do also dislike when my OP champions get nerfed. I mean, it's true. I used to be like a...
I'd call out.
So, I used to be a Orianna and Corki 2-trick.
I do remember.
Yeah.
You're telling me the story.
And they were both extremely overpowered. I think it was 2017. Yeah. It was fun times. Got a lot of wins. Did very well.
And then they got nerfed.
And then they both...
Yeah, right. Corki has never been meta since.
Yeah. Well... This is going to be a free Infernal Drake here for Hanwha Life Esports. Doesn't look like DNF really had an opportunity.
What was your favorite, like, weird meta thing that got taken out because it was really broken, but you did kind of like it? For me, it's Rel Jungle. Actually, it's good.
No.
It's good that it was removed, but I did actually really like that.
Not Rel Jungle.
I thought it was cool, man. So, can we save Zeus here?
I mean, everybody is going top. It's a 3-on-3 here. It's just a straight up fight, but the burst damage on the Zeus is enough, and the dash over the rocks for Peanut, as he will be taken out by Dudu's Ambessa. We do have Zeka still on the chase. Bulldog just going to flash away from that one, but a couple of kills picked up here for DNF. Not half bad.
Peanut, about that card,
Yeah.
I love this timing though from DNF. Actually, really, because the flash on Zeus, what is it, like 10 seconds off? Actually perfect timing here, because if they have flash, they cannot play this. Cancel off the hop there by Pioshik, and then the rocks to just bop Peanut. Dudu then, just as the stun is about to end, goes in with the ultimate, and all of this works again because of the fact that flash isn't there, and they even get Zeka to roam up as well. Sure, he picks up a kill, but that could have been a lot worse. Really nicely done there by the DNF. The only downside, they do invest double flash, and that might be a problem as we get towards the second Grubs in about 50 seconds.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, the timing of it could be an issue. I'm just happy that DNF actually looked like they're doing... Oh, no! Not the immediate caster curse.
Curses aren't real, Valdez.
Well, they are in this case. Peanut gonna steal away the blue. And yeah, I'm just happy that DNF proactively making plays, making dives work. They're getting early leads. They're making ganks happen. They're not just doing nothing and then losing the game as we talk about literary themes.
Yes, it is. It is, and even in that game, this team in LCK Cup looked like they truly were just kind of lost. I do think that they have stepped it up. The main question is just, can they actually take away, not against Hanwha today, I think that is definitely a bit too much of a step up, but that Bro series, that is going to be one that actually will end up having big repercussions. Could
actually be pretty epic. It
will, because don't forget, your performance in these first 2 round robins is going to have a lasting impact on your year. And DNF, even with those flashes not being available, very confident to just set up shop and deny the 6 Grubs. 4 Grubs for Hanwha Life, just like game number 1.
Yeah. This time, you know, they got the 3 early, and then Peanut just picked up 1 and hopped the wall. They didn't want to take the chance. They just said, no, we don't have everybody in position, and we're just not going to take the fight. At this point in the game, Rise has a catalyst, you know, not exactly hitting spikes or anything.
Double tier, no first item for a lot of their members, so
yeah,
I think it makes sense.
It just feels like a win for Hanwha because they got that early Infernal Drake. They got 4 Grubs after all, so they didn't have to really fight to get 4 Grubs either. Or the Infernal Drake, really. And a lot of that just came down to mid-prio. You know, a couple of good plays from DNF, but when it comes to the laning phase, we saw this in game 1 as well. Hanwha Life just very naturally were winning in all the lanes, and it kind of felt effortless. And now it feels like Hanwha Life, they started off a bit more behind, but they're still doing a lot of what they did in game 1 to get these kind of innate laning leads.
The big difference for me is that this time DNF has a comp that makes me go, this can win. In the last game, I think the space really put it into worth much more viciously than we did, but it was very warranted.
Just dive in the top lane here. There's that Rune Prison into Spear combo as Peanut taking a huge amount of damage. He's going to flash out. The timing on that was beautiful. Zeka able to just zip out of the same timeline as Pioshik.
Not even close. Zeka makes the great escape. Peanut has to invest his flash, but he's going to be happy about that as, Zeus, that's a mini-Gnar. Who has his ultimate. Berserker's here.
And he's going to get hit by the ult of the Ambessa. That is just so clean from Dudu. Berserker just helping out. And it's enough. They're getting a lot of plates. They're winning a side lane.
They actually execute a great cross-map. Love to see it. The only thing that could have been better is if the kill went over to Berserker. Although I think Dudu obviously has had a great game in on the Ambessa thus far, just because, you know, it's Berserker. It's kind of been an ongoing theme.
Yeah.
But DNF, what a step up here. We're actually seeing them stay toe-to-toe. I think that their teamfight comp definitely is pretty crazy. I want to see, did he know about the Sejuani?
He said, let's go.
Oh, yeah, 세주공.
Oh, Seju ult. Sejuani
Because
ult.
they did have a ward, but it was on the other end, so I was kind of wondering.
Yeah.
As we take another look here. Gotta hit that ultimate. He did, and then Berserker. Feel like he didn't necessarily need it to flash there, but not wanting to waste the time. This is a little bit rough, though, is because they went for that play and invested a lot of resources. I imagine that they were then behind on getting a base in, which meant that the Dragon still went over to Hanwha Life.
Zeus is just being bullied in this game. If he dies
mega,
here, that's
though.
going to be 0-4. He does hit No, he doesn't.
No mega.
Nope, just not going to hit it. And now, Hanwha Life Esports are like, oh,
The hook!
we got to jump ship. The hook is big. Peanut trying to dash over the rocks. There's no other way to get out for him, so he had to try. It's 2 kills for DNF. They're making plays.
They're alive! It's happening!
They're awake.
We're able to actually discern the themes. It's DNF is here. And they're making plays across the map. Zeus, as I already said, has had a habit of doing this in the past. Not generally on champions like Gnar, though. Actually, a great punish. He got the counter pick as well, by the way. This was what he picked in the Mbessa. And a lot of it has been just Pioshik having a much better game. But this, I don't know how Zeus did not know that any of them were there. I feel like it was a good amount of vision coverage. So it does feel, with, especially considering how many problems he's had already this game. Like, he's just not respecting enough, just keeps getting punished inside. Nicely done by DN FREECS, and also the fact that Peanut doesn't have flash is what allows him to actually get that kill. If they don't force the flash with the topside play, Peanut flashes there, ends up making it out. And DN FREECS, we're getting hyped. It's because they look a lot better. There is a problem, which is the blue man that is currently up almost 1.5k gold. That is really going to be a big deal. There's also the fact that the composition for Hanwha, I think, scales very nicely. The poke is great. Still gonna celebrate. DN FREECS look a lot better.
Well, we're going to have maybe a battle of the Fed champions in the bottom lane. We'll see how much more fighting they do. But Zeka versus Dudu, the most fed in the game currently. Zeus is he's just orange buff. Like, he's just sitting there dying on repeat. They're just farming the Gnar buff, which is just getting your team fed in this case. He finally hits his Trinity Force, but now Dudu is just so incredibly fed, and I hope he returns to where he was, you know, the only carry on his team once upon a time. Nowadays, with this roster, we thought he wouldn't be, but... And also, he's not showing that carry potential, but this is the game where you gotta carry.
He also had a chase game at the beginning of last week that actually was pretty solid. So if this is him reawakening, I'll take that 100%. Oh. Really, the biggest winner is... Oh, come on, Peanut. Be nice. The biggest winner of seeing Dudu kind of drop his form after a couple of years with, frankly, just him being the only performing member on his team is even more respect for Keen, who somehow just stayed really good after doing that. Now, the one thing I do want to highlight, Dudu can't die, right? He's the guy that is the most fed, that has a ton of resources invested in him, cannot give up that shutdown. But the response from Hanwha Life doesn't actually end up doing too much, and that means the mid lane turret is going to fall.
Oh, looks like Peanut actually is going to clear it up, and now the whole team is here with the Realm Warp, as DNF, they did not factor that in. Pioshik just going to die, as they just simply did not get out in time, as the Bulldog also going to be pulled off of the wall. That's a couple of kills here for Hanwha Life, as they do not respect the rotation power of the Rise.
Bulldog, you got to angle that a little differently. If he just pulls it much more horizontally, just goes toward like his topside turret, no way that they end up getting in there. Pioshik getting caught, and this for me is the biggest. Pioshik getting caught, it's rough, but it's not the end of the world. But the fact that then a second kill also goes through is a big deal, because Bulldog being dead, instead of being there to clear this wave, means that Hanwha Life have an extra member on the map, meaning that now they're going to get this turret, and the gold lead is just going to be kind of gone. And here the big thing is, as you highlight, the Realm Warp just catching them off guard, and they knew that they were roaming mid. We were very aware of this.
The three of them were bot with Rise. Where do you think they're going?
No, it's level 2 ult. You gotta angle that differently.
Yeah.
From Bulldog, big mistake. That's a unforced error. And now Hanwha Life is in the lead again.
Yeah. I mean, I'm sure a lot of us were sitting back waiting for the moment when Hanwha would come back and take the lead. So I don't think that part is very surprising, but I do think that DNF, they had a lot going for them in this early game.
Which was nice.
Yeah, it was nice, but at the end of the day, now Hanwha are just like, well, we're in the lead now. We're going to start pressing our buttons. And Viper is hitting a spike. I believe he has the finished Muramana. And Zeka also on 2 items. Yeah. So, now, if you look on the other side, you got 2 items for Mbessa. You have 2 items for the Tristana, but I'm worried about the Ryze Ezreal 2-item combo spike here for them, especially in the poke department when you've got a Nidalee too.
The FREECS need to get this dragon. You can't give over the soul point. It's actually pretty good here on Hanwha. Zeus is fine this time around. It's going to hit Mega though, but look at the poke. This is what we talked about before. FREECS, they got to pull the trigger. They have so many ways to start a fight.
Yeah, the Chemtech Soul is actually pretty decent in this one.
Yeah.
The Nidalee and some big health bars here for Hanwha. And yeah, I mean, they're taking so much damage. Viper, he doesn't have cleanse, and even Arcane shifted in, and he gets hit by a Sejuani ultimate, but he's still not punished. As in goes Delight into that backline. He looks like he will be taken out, but so many low health bars here. And the Realm Warp in for Zeka. He wants more. They want to turn onto him, but Dudu not quite able to do the damage, but there it is. He is actually able to take him over. The rocks is Bulldog, and he will be able to take down Zeka and get a big bounty. So at least DNF were able to get that, and the dragon is still alive, actually.
Oh, Bulldog can TP in. I think they might be able to contest this. Dudu doesn't have his, though. And that was very close to Hanwha Life taking a big win and kind of giving it away again, because the reason why Viper and Zeus can act like psychopaths in this fight is because they're already so low, right? And FREECS have so many tools. You have Mbessa ult, you have Sejuani, you have the Nautilus, but instead, and this isn't even a great engage from Hanwha Life, right? Like the light goes in on one target, it's just Berserker. Zeus flashes forward just to auto people, by the way. And then Hanwha Life way over chase here as well. Could have played this a lot slower. I hope that the FREECS get something for the troubles, because the dragon went over to Hanwha Life, and if they just get soul point and you don't get the Otacon, things are about to be dire. But Zeus does have TP, stacking the Narber, but only halfway there.
Yeah, it's getting pretty low. There's the TP. He might just come down to a smite fight. The burst from the poke is what they're going to go for. Viper has to Arcane shift away, and now Peanut, awkward spot for him. Zeka as well, TPing to his doom potentially. As Zeus tries to help him, but Berserker just hops away. That's a big combo ult does come in, but the wall pushes them back into DNF. And DNF are rolling over them here in the top lane. Zeus all alone there. That's a triple now for Berserker. As Hanwha Life, they do not respect them on the Otacon. They want to take them down, but the turn from DNF is huge.
And they get the kills. They get the Otacon. They get a good amount of roses as well. And Hanwha Life, what was that? Zeka teleporting into a bunch of people? As we take a look, they're just trying to cut too many corners here, right? As Zeka, no, he just walks up. As walks up, gets engaged on, and it really does feel again disjointed because Viper is getting zones, and that's so much of the damage not available here. And then look at this flick that comes through here from Bulldog. Both the walls sets up for the flick back. Berserker is safe in this fight. Didn't even need to flash, by the way. And FREECS, actually a great team fight from them. Oh man, the double knock-up.
Yeah.
Because if Vipers ends up staying alive, I don't think they can do that much more, but instead, get the Otacon. Still, value obviously is not going to be as crazy because of the fact that they haven't gotten a lot of epic objectives yet, but maybe in due time. But the gold remains in favor of the FREECS. And look at that swing!
Yeah, and look at this. Peanut gonna get just comboed with all the CC they have. The Nautilus, the Talia, they come together. And Peanut not able to do enough on this Nidalee, just gets taken out. It's a 4,000 gold lead here for DNF, and they have so many blood petals as well. They've taken the lead pretty hugely in this game. Take a look at the top level difference right now. 3 levels. Zeus only level 12 to Zeka's 15 to Dudu's 15. He has just been totally absent in this game this is just pretty elementary.
Life also been really solid with these hooks. A lot of the plays, particularly onto Peanut. Been him setting it up, and he has not had the best season so far. So nice signs of life there from him. Signs of life by life.
Nice.
Nice.
Love life.
Signs of life by life sounds like it could be a perfume, you know?
Yeah.
You see it like someone walks up from the ocean.
Sounds of life.
Yeah.
By life.
There you go. Oh, I got chills!
Well, we need
No,
Zeus
we
to
can't
get
just
some.
let that go, Veldas. That's powerful imagery right there.
Yeah.
Now, the next dragon is most likely going to be giving up a Hanwha Life. And there is still, I think, for all of us, still a pervasive sense of, all right, this is fine, but Zeka's going to hit level 16. Viper is, at some point, going to hit his third item, but that is actually a really big deal, is that with all the gold that's been given over, it's not like the composition of DNF FREECS doesn't scale. Really, just more of a nameplate situation than anything, and I truly do hope that DNF FREECS win this game, because if they lose this one, I do fear for their mental. But as someone that has predicted both for Hanwha Life against T1 and against DNF FREECS, this match is not feeling so great for me, Valdez.
Yeah. I mean...
Are you with me?
Yeah.
Oh, no.
Yeah, I'm with you.
We are in shambles.
I mean, that's the way it goes sometimes, especially in the early stages of the predictions, you know, the early weeks when you don't have a good grasp of where the teams are at, what their power level is, you know, is Hanwha Life awake yet? Or are they still the slumbering serpents?
Well, they went to an international, you know, they have to deal with jet lag.
Yeah. Yeah, they traveled to a different universe when they had to play up against those teams, I guess.
Yeah.
So yeah, this dragon is going to be just given over, as you highlighted. Hanwha Life not going to flip the game on taking a Chemtech Soul right now. Zeus, still no second item. Not really a champion in this one, and the difference right now in the 80 carry department is a big one.
Truly the worst game I've seen him have in a really, like, even a lot of the, you know, I know the TF top era, he was very heavily criticized as well. But I feel like a lot of those games to me felt less egregious than this one.
Or TP. Viper gonna get caught in the ruler spot on Ezreal. Missed his arcane shift as well. Hanwha Life are just falling apart. DNF gonna probably take a Baron from here. There's no Ezreal on the Rift at all. As Viper's like, well, I'm caught, I can't flash. There's really no reason to flash. And that's correct, but the fact that he got caught is the bigger issue. As we got a TP coming in, it looks like Hanwha Life want to try to fight this one, but they're down a member, and they're down so much gold at this point. The flash away, and in goes DNF. Delight gonna be caught here, and so will Zeus. He does hop the wall. As they get the pick, and their sights are set on Baron once again.
And Peanut's alive, but I don't think he's gonna be in a position to contest. Summoner's burned. And slowly but surely the confidence that we have for DNF FREECS actually closing out this game keeps growing. But just don't let Peanut get a hit, but he should be allowed to, and he's not.
Yeah, no, I mean, you got a Tristana, you got an Ambessa. This guy is dying. Now, they do let the Baron leash, which probably a mistake, but probably more so because Yosik was so low.
The second on the TP in, I kind of wonder how... they didn't expect the double back. Oh, you kidding me? He's so sneaky.
Yeah.
Don't let it distract from how bad of a game he's been having. As we take another look here, really, I kind of want to see what happened to Viper. I know he was in the ruler spot, but on Ezreal, that was a rough go.
I think he just got Nautilus.
Yeah.
And he was like, uh-oh.
There's been a lot of that. And also, I love how much, because DNF FREECS in the earlier Dragon fight, we actually criticized them for not doing what, like they're actually going for great layered hard engage. First, we have Life go in, then we have backline access for Dudu, we have Pioshik going in as well as, oh boy, I don't know about this one. Peanut and Zeka aren't close. I think they're going to just burst it down. It's going to be gone.
Yeah, 5K ahead. They're just going to go for it. The Meganar is there for Zeus, but he can't get in. The Spite is early. Goes down to 30 and to Tristana, but it doesn't matter. It's a couple of kills going the way of DNF as well on top of the Baron. And now, you can just look to push to end from here. I mean, there is a Dragon in 2 minutes. Larger lead from this one. I think DNF, you know, they've had a really big struggle so far in this season, but this is a game that I don't think anyone can drop from. It seems like it's in the bag for them. Hanwha Life Esports are not really putting 2 and 2 together, and now they're too far behind.
And even the possible win con of the Camtech just feels like it's more of a pipe dream than anything. Way too far behind in items, not going to be able to really contest for the map at all. Zeka is not hitting cannons. As we take another look here, there really isn't that much. It's a 7-level lead, Valdez.
Yeah.
7 levels.
8 now.
8 there, yeah. As Zeus, what's another death when you're already this far behind?
Might as well.
Yeah. All right, DN Freaks, we collectively need you to win this game. That's
I think
all
we
we're
all
asking
need this.
for.
Yeah.
We all need this. Hanwha Life need to get punished.
Yeah.
Because
They need a
they
wake-up
do not
call.
deserve this game.
Yeah.
At all.
They lost to Gen G. They dropped the game to KT. We were thinking, oh, yeah, it looked good. You know, that was
okay,
the
but
turnaround in the mid-game. They won that one fight, and we're like, okay.
Yeah, losing to Gen G, that's fine. Gen G are really, really, really good. And I think the Freaks are playing great, don't get me wrong. This is clearly a continuation of their upwards trends. Peanut doesn't have flash.
Well, at least he did on his all of the CC. But at the same time, they still have the Baron push coming in. Now the wall and the Abyssal right on top of Viper as Dudu is an assassin right now on this Ambessa. He's looking for more. He's going to pick up Peanut as finally he's able to let go and just dive into that back line and pick up 2. And he lets his team push in here up against 3. There's not much of a wave, but with Tristana, your pushing power is gigantic. As now even a flash on in on top of Zeus. What's another death? Why not? There's the 8th as DNF will take down the turret. And they will take down game number 2 away from Hanwha Life Esports. Delight and Zeka desperate to bounce a bunch of magic on top of them with this rise, but it's not going to be enough. Down goes the Nexus, and we will have a game number 3.